everybody's doing it. We have VOC and touch point mapping and journey mapping and everything. And what happens is, as this work becomes more about technical execution and a discipline, we get further and further away from the people who are at the center of it and why we're in business in the first place, which is to improve lives.
Hi everyone, Ivana Taylor here, and I want to welcome you to a very, very special show that we have today. And today we're doing a video book review and interview with one of my favorite authors, Jeanne Bliss. I'll have all kinds of extra links for you, but today we're going to talk about her latest book, Would You Do That to Your Mother? It's a very, very profound point of view on how we deal with customer service and customer experience. It's going to be a lesson for every size company, big or small. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to put Miss Jeanne Bliss right here in front of you. Welcome, Jeanne.
Hey, how are you? So nice to be with you. I have my earbuds on. You can see them because I'm in a hotel room on my book launch. So wanted to make sure you could hear me okay.
It's perfect. And I actually have been doing this for a long time, but you have absolutely, what is that called? Surpassed me, because you've got this awesome podcasting thing going on.
Yeah, it's been fun, really fun. We just hit our 100th. We just hit our 100th about a week ago. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it. All right, Miss Jeanne. So
yes, ma'am.
Talk about, because you and I have been talking about this book for a really long time.
Yes. It took a long time to write this book because I came up with the crazy title, right? Would you do that to your mother? And then I had to figure out how to make it two things. One, accessible, and two, inspirational, but three, a do-it book, not a pie-in-the-sky book. And it took a long time to figure out how to write it and what that meant. And so here we are. It's finally birthed, and it's very exciting. We're getting really good feedback on it.
For those of you who don't know, I'm going to tell you, Jeanne already knows this. My favorite book that she's ever written was I Love You More Than My Dog. And she has written many books since then, but that continues to be my favorite. And I know that this is going to get right on up there because I think it's very, very similar.
Yep. There's a lot of the dog book elements in here that I think you'll enjoy. And you might say even on steroids, because 10 years have passed. I've been coaching leaders and organizations around the world. And one of the things people said was they love the dog book stories, but they'd love some tools for how to take them past that inspiration. And so that's what we have in this book.
Why did it take so long to write this book?
Well, again, first of all, I'm coaching people around the world. I'm running a business. But I really wanted to make sure I had case studies of every kind, every size. There's 32 case studies, but they're complete toolkits. There's over 85 additional companies talked about with their ideas. I hired a cartoonist. We have custom cartoons that introduce every story. Yeah, you can show some of those. There's an enormous amount of art in this book, so it's very visual. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. I'm going to talk so that everyone can see.
Yep. And the whole point of the cartoons is, in a simple cartoon, we can see our life as a customer, and we can see what our customers go through. So it took a lot of time to just, and also get the right tone. Would you do that to your mother could be a little cynical, but the case studies are what's powerful. So all the case studies, Ivana, are called A Case Study to Make Mom Proud. And along with that, we're working on what eventually, hopefully, will become a movement called the Movement to Make Mom Proud. We've even built a website. It's make-mom-proud. Maybe you could show people later, where they can upload a picture of their mom, how she inspires them, and what they do in business to make her proud. So, we're connecting all the dots here.
Why? Tell everyone the story of how you came upon this insight that became the cornerstone foundation, the pillar piece of the tools that are in here.
What's happening in our industry is customer experience is this explosive thing that's almost becoming a little bit of a shiny object now, right? Everybody's doing it. We have VOC and touch point mapping and journey mapping and everything. And what happens is as this work becomes more about technical execution and a discipline, we get further and further away from the people who are at the center of it and why we're in business in the first place, which is to improve lives. So I needed to, in my own way, you know, they call me the godmother of customer experience. I call this book a little bit of tough love wrapped in velvet. Get us in a very tool or orderly but operational way back to understanding, evaluating what we're doing, and taking action. So the case studies are companies who chose to turn the tide of business, and there's 32 case studies. Each chapter is basically mirroring the story of our lives as customers and the story of your customers' lives. And so I also wanted to blend a little whimsy with the tools. So do you want me to walk you through the chapters?
Yeah, absolutely. I think folks would love that.
Yeah. So the chapters, again, you know, the mom is a metaphor. Think of someone you love at the end of your decisions. It's a conscience question. Pause. And before you're, you know, about to respond at the front line, change your pose, change your attitude, choose how you'd respond. So we're in charge of, even if we can't change that policy, we can change how we deliver it, right? In the middle of the organization, when you're building that spaghetti bowl of complexity, again, inadvertently, for the customer experience, stop and ask, you know, would you make your mom go through your phone tree, right? Would you want your mom to go through, read your paperwork? You know, it's almost everything you do in your organization. And then at the senior level, this is about leadership choices and choosing to turn the tide on behavior that may have grown a business, but isn't necessarily earning admirers and growing long-term organic growth. Fine print, gotcha moments, policies, things that, again, somebody put on a spreadsheet and it made sense for the time, but isn't going to be a long-term growth strategy. There's every kind of story in this book. For example, there's an insurance company in New York metro area, for example, in the Take the High Road chapter, and I'll walk you through the chapters again as I promised, where they actually, their whole premise is around trust, honesty, and conscience. And so when you sign up for them, they insure your goods, your home, your car, you know, all those things. They just charge you a flat rate, a percentage of what they're insuring you. And when you're picking your insurance, you also pick a charity, because they are now uniting all of the policyholders in making the right decisions and telling the truth. So when you go through to put in a claim, their interface is a bot through a mobile device, but it's very mom-like. They call it AI Jim, but you look into this bot and you make an honesty pledge. I promise the claim I'm about to put in is truthful and right, you know, so help me everybody else who's going to benefit from this. And at the end of the year, paying out all the claims, whatever's left over goes to everybody's charity of choice. And so, you know, what we know is, especially, you know, people use the word millennial, but this really applies to all of us. In the world we live in, we all are gravitating more and more to companies that are driven by values and that let their people do the right thing, but it has to be an operationalized approach. So the 4 chapters are: be the person I raised you to be. This isn't about etching on a crystal ball, be nice. It's about hiring the human behind the resume, but then giving them enough information to trust them with the wiggle room. You know, let policy and the golden rule collide. That's there's 8 stories in each of these chapters that are very operational decisions and a toolkit that you can go and try to determine how you get there. The next chapter, Ivana, I think you might love. It's called "Don't Make Me Feed You Soap." And this is all that bugaboo stuff we put customers through because we're organized by silos, and we do what we do because we want to get stuff out of customers versus, you know, helping them. And this is waiting for call times, your phone tree, how hard it is to get something resolved, you know, putting the monkey on the customer's back, no communication when customers really need you. All of the basic things that create dukes up instead of a calm and peaceful experience. The third main chapter is called "Put Others Before Yourself." And this is redesigning the work of your business to enable customers to achieve their goals. Let them achieve their goal so you can achieve yours. So for example, Cole Haan Shoes has a whole laboratory around imagining your life in shoes. The Uber of the Middle East, Careem, noticed that their riders of a certain age were dropping off. And rather than just send a survey, they started to understand and follow them and watch what was going on in their life while they were having kids. And they didn't want to ride in their cars anymore without car seats. Now, you would never find that out from a survey. So now they started Careem Kids. So you need to know the life to serve the life. And there's many examples in there besides these 8 case studies. One of the heartstring ones, for example, is the Cleveland Clinic, which is in a couple places through the book, knows that, and the redesign starts with the emotion. They know that young parents or parents in general who have a premature child in the NICU, in the NIC, the NIC, intensive care for their infants, are worried, but they have to go home. They can't stay there all the time. So they created a camera called the NIC View, which is a camera over the bed of their infant child, so they can watch that baby all night long if they want. So that's what that chapter is about. And it's, again, prodding you to figure out your version. And then the last chapter, a big chapter, is called Take the High Road, where we have that Lemonade Insurance. We have Virgin Hotels who stopped charging, don't do the nickel and diming on water, all of these behaviors. And then finally, in that last chapter that you mentioned, it's called Stop the Shenanigans. And it's a quiz. It summarizes, like the dog book, Ivana, you're going to see a lot of the similarities. Like the dog book, there's a summary, but at the end of the summary, there's a Make Mom Proud-O-meter where you can evaluate how well or how close you are to that, beloved company or that Make Mom Proud company. So I really wanted to make it similar to what you said, that dog book you love, accessible, inspirational, and chewable. Bite off a piece, do something, and keep moving on.
I love that. I have to ask one more question before actually, the next to the last question. How did you find all these companies?
Well, I interviewed a lot, and then I did a lot. I did a lot of searching and talking to people, which led me on other searches because I didn't want just the obvious ones. Now, there's perennial favorites in there. But it's also a storybook. You can read this book and see the story of your life in this book. So the curation of the stories, I probably spent 5.5 months just on reading and curating, which is part of the reason it took so long.
I mean, did you get referrals or, because to your point,
everything, all of it.
All of it.
Huh? All of it. All of it. All of it. Yeah.
And I think that's what I love most about the idea and the concept. I talk a lot about this, which is, when we are measuring success of our systems and our policies, everyone should quickly and easily be able to see how well you're doing. You could have a financial goal or you could have a production goal, but it should be such that the person that walks into that manufacturing area at 3:00 in the morning should know if we're, just by looking, you should know if we're going to meet our goal. And so I think that this book seems to have a lot of that.
Yeah, and it's very operational. It's very realistic. And again, the whole idea of also the Make Mom Proud movement is so that people keep posting their good stories and we can keep learning from each other.
And maybe we can find more of these companies.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Where can people get the book, Jean?
Go to my website, customerbliss.com. It's all on there. You can also go to the Make Mom Proud site. It's a little clunkier. It's make-mom-proud.com. The book, of course, is on Amazon. It's on sale right now. We went on sale yesterday, so it's available everywhere you can get books.
An actual video podcast book review brought to you by Jean Bliss, author of The Most Awesome Would You Do That to Your Mother? Now that you've even seen and heard this, really think about that. Next time you're engaging, next time you're out in the store, next time you're out doing business with someone, next time you're working with a customer, would you do that to your mother? Then get the book and get on that. What did you call it? Momometer? Make Mom
Proud-O-meter. Or and the Make Mom Proud website too. Yes, that's right.
Jean, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.